It's that time. It is Friday. It is October 17th. Get ready for the score prediction show right here on Bama Football on YouTube with Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. Yo, family, are you here? Oh, man, I'm running into some problems. No. Let's see. Are we checked in? Yes. No. Yes. No. Can you guys see me? Am I clear to you? Let me know you're watching inside the comment box. I ran into some problems. Can you see me? Give me a thumbs up if you can. Yes or no? Oh, my goodness. My bad. Slow start. Yeah, we're good? We here? Give me a thumbs up if I'm good. Holy cow. Man, I don't know what happened. We got off to a bumpy start. All right, we good? All right. Ooh, thank goodness. Man, I don't know. It was crazy. So I pressed stream and all sorts of stuff behind the scenes happened. So I don't know. But it seems like we're good to go. So thank goodness. And we're rolling because we don't like streaming problems, but we're rolling right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate y'all being here. Thank you so much. Let me know where you're watching from inside the comment box. Sorry for the bumpy start, but away we go. Show must go on, and away we go. Yo, it is almost time for the third weekend in October, and I can't wait for this game. Give me your excitement level on a scale of 1 to 10. I think going into this game, I was thinking about it. This is the biggest home game. And this is really the biggest game that Alabama has had this entire season. I think there's a lot of buildup to week one clearly, and Alabama, didn't have the best showing in that game. And kind of week by week we've gone on. And even that Georgia game, which seemed, monumental at that point in time, I think where we're at right now, taking on Tennessee, being a rivalry game, being at home, I think there is so much on the line. So I think in terms of, overall, like the biggest game, this is it. And it's a one-game season. I think next weekend we'll be saying the same thing. This is the biggest game because until Alabama has punched some sort of ticket to the SEC championship game or to the playoffs, it all is just about what have you done on a week-to-week process. Do you agree with me? Thumbs up on that? Because look, one loss here, another loss on the back end, something like that, things go south. It's going to be hard for teams in the SEC if you're not in that kind of top 5 range to make the playoffs. So, look, Tennessee, and as I always caution you every single week, I'm going to say, look, this is the team that's coming in. And now on paper, Tennessee has the number 122nd pass defense, so you should be able to expose that. On the flip side, Tennessee does have some weapons, and their quarterback is pretty good. So again, it's a week-by-week process, and you start out with the third weekend in Tennessee, third weekend against Tennessee. This is college football at its finest, to be honest. I mean, if you're coming into town, definitely hit the tailgate and get to enjoy that aspect, because I'm telling you, if you haven't been here, right, for the third weekend of October for like this beautiful setting in Tuscaloosa, it is absolutely fire, 100%. So definitely get out there and enjoy yourself. Go to all the great restaurants here in town. Let's do some AM shout outs. I appreciate hearing from you guys, and on the back end we'll do the call-in show. So let me see who's checked in. We got Max Tooney. Thank you so much for checking in. We got Broderick. We got Miss Anita. What's up? We got Young C. Thank you very much for checking in. Anita, always. We got Mindy, Miss Careless up in enemy territory. Jermaine King, I appreciate you being here. Broderick RTR. We got Andy from Denver, good to see you this morning as well. We got Kalen Childress, always locked in, loaded right here on Bama Football on YouTube. We have Crystal Jones up in South Carolina, right? And we have, let's see, Sammy Dubs. What's up, Sammy? Good to see you. We have Miss Kimberly. Miss Kimberly, thanks for being here. Appreciate you. And Kay says, good morning, Vietnam. What's up, Kay? It's good to see you out in the Tampa area. Frank hit us with the super chat right here. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Nothing Burger says, what's up? Cadillac says, hello. And Paul Byron says, what's going on? Everybody's opponent is a Super Bowl game when you play Alabama 100%. Sarah Crane, good morning. Thank you so much. Rex, happy Friday, bro. Good to see you, man. Julio Garcia is present. And Tide is Rising is coming to us from Mississippi. All right. Chance, what's up, man? Coming to us from Florida. Good to see you. All right. All right, here's the weekend weather report. Tommy, I see you on the back end, man, with the buzzer beater. What's up? The temperature should be 87 degrees for that beautiful tailgate. And then you also have a really nice kickoff time of 82 degrees, right? For a 6:30 kickoff, man. Holy cow, that's going to be awesome. PJ Talley, what's up, man? Good to see you. I'll see you back at the Gloom at sometime, right? Good to see you, man. You're going to be, I'm sure you're going to be at the tailgate, PJ. Hit me up, man. I'll go say what's up if I run through. And for that fourth quarter temperature, it should be 76 degrees. Beautiful, beautiful evening in Tuscaloosa. Hey, if you want to take the experience up one level, you can become a fan funder. Just hit that join button. There's a lot of different levels. If you want to join and support Bama football on YouTube, I'd really appreciate your all consideration in doing that. So hit that join button, different levels. And here's a look at the recent members that have joined that support Bama football on YouTube, which I really, really appreciate. All right, y'all see this? I'm going to open up the show with this. Yo, this was crazy, okay? So Kirk Cignetti, the head football coach at Indiana, you see this? Signed a new deal, 8 years, $92 million, probably like closer to $93 million, $11.6 million per year, okay? At Indiana, all right? The Big Ten, they have so much money. Were you shocked to see this? To be honest, I kind of was. I know a lot of people were talking about him maybe going to Penn State or whatever, but man, this is a gigantic contract, right? So I started like diving the numbers and I was like, okay, number one, like, damn, that's a lot of money for Indiana football, right? And I get it. Look, they're doing well this year. Dave Portnoy said that they beat anybody in the SEC by 2 touchdowns, which is the craziest take that we've had, right? But man, that's a lot of money to be coaching at Indiana. Just a couple years ago, I think someone pointed out he was just making what, $672 at James Madison. Man, imagine making, I mean, even $672 is ridiculous. And now you're making 11.6 per year. So I started kind of diving into numbers. That puts Kirk Cignetti number 3 in the entire country after Kirby and Ryan Day. Isn't that wild? Like 11.6. I'll go full screen. Maybe you can see it a little bit tighter. Man, look at that. Look at. I can't even, you imagine Lincoln Riley is making 11.5 for what? Man, USC hasn't done anything. Coach Kalen DeBoer down here, number 7, I guess number 8 soon at 10.2. And right yesterday I showed the graphic like Coach Kalen DeBoer 18-3 versus top 25 teams, 6-1 versus top 10 teams. Yo, 10.2 is a lot. 11.6 is like, oh my goodness. Bill Belichick down there making $10 million per year, and you know, kind of the train wreck. Yo, college football is wild, man. There's a lot of money out there, especially in the Big Ten. Let's see how many Big Ten teams there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Still more in the SEC in terms of the pay volume. But I was thinking about this, and I came up with this, and I posted on the Facebook channel as well. Started kind of going back and forth, and I was like, what an easy job to coach at Indiana, right? What an easy job, because think about it. This year, they've only played 2 ranked teams, and they won them both, right? They beat Illinois 63-10, and they beat Oregon 30-20. But for the rest of the way, as I pointed out, they don't play a ranked team again up until like the Big Ten championship where they'll play Ohio State, right? So it's pretty easy place to coach. And then I was like, you know what? What was their schedule last year before they went to the playoffs? Look at this. Yo, at Indiana, I'm going to tell you a stat that'll just blow your mind in just 2 seconds. They only played 1 ranked team last year. One ranked team, okay? 1 ranked team. So I'm going to tell you this. Look, think about this stat. I'm going to tell you this and blow your mind, okay? So Alabama is getting ready to play its 4th consecutive ranked team tomorrow, right, on Saturday against Tennessee. 4th, like, in a row, okay? Indiana has played 3 ranked teams in the regular season in the past 2 years. Isn't that crazy? Bama played 4 back-to-back-to-back. And Indiana has played 3 in 2 seasons. Hell yeah, give me 11.6 to coach against those teams. Now I get it. The last 2 titles have come from the Big Ten, and those teams have been good. But man, overall, that's a comfy spot. Wild to think about. All right, last night, Alabama basketball in an exhibition. You guys watch this? You guys see it? Did it come up on your radar? Alabama basketball defeated Florida State in an exhibition match there in Birmingham. LeBaron Philon, 28 points. Yo, if you don't know who LeBaron Philon is, yo, you better learn. This might be, honestly, one of the best players. like in the country. He might be the best player in the country. This isn't him, by the way, in the photo. But LeBaron Philon, absolutely a baller, okay? 28 points, 8 of 12 from the field, 3 of 4 3-point land. Aiden Holloway, a bumpy start. He was only 2 of 9 from 3-point land, but he poured in 20. And then, Bo Bolin, who's a transfer from Florida State, actually at 6'10", was 3 of 4 from 3-point land. And then Houston Mallett, who got the Hard Hat Award, 13 points and 7 boards. They play Furman next on October 26th. I was thinking about Alabama basketball. I love watching Coach Oates play. He's got that dog in him, right? And this offense, I mean, you don't like to see 105 points surrendered. This team is going to score 100. I don't even know how, like almost every time they play. It's crazy, right? This team is going to be deadly. What was interesting, though, what were they ranked in the AP? Like number 16 or something like that? A lot of disrespect. So kind of, if that goes well for Alabama, it'll be reverse rat poison. And y'all know that they play one of the most dangerous schedules and toughest schedules in the entire country. So, I think when I look to Alabama basketball, will they lose some games? Yeah, they will. But they will be battle tested, right? And you remember the SEC last year was crazy in basketball. All right, so as you know, it's the third weekend of October. We got Bama, we got Tennessee. I'll take your calls in probably like 10 minutes. Let me get through a couple different things, and then I'll open up the phone lines. The biggest news came out last night, right? 7:10 every single night, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and that's regarding Jam Miller, the running back for Alabama. Now, as I said, I had heard that he's not expected to play Saturday. Coach Kalen DeBoer said that he's making progress, right? That's why you listen to the head man. And he said he's making progress. So on Wednesday night, they listed him as questionable. And then Thursday night, they elevated him to probable. So let me ask you inside the comment box. I mean, there it is right there. He's probable. And I'm going to poll y'all right here. Do you think that Jam will play? Yes or no inside the comment box. I mean, now seeing it as probable makes me believe that he will play. Right? So, I mean, I still think this moves maybe to like a game time decision. But I'll tell you what, like the coaches, well, most importantly, Jeff Allen isn't going to put him in a bad spot health-wise, right? So you have trust and confidence in him, and you just kind of let it play out. To be honest, I mean, seeing after, because it looked to me like he got knocked out against Missouri. I mean, just from what I saw, and I'm sure you guys saw that as well. But Shelly said they're just teasing us. It could just be kind of scaring Tennessee, right? Making them, get ready for time of possession. Because Alabama's a lot different with Jam Miller in the lineup. I mean, I love this graphic right here because it shows you the production that Jam Miller has had in the first 3 SEC games, right? 16 carries, 22, 20. That's all time of possession. Alabama's going to beat you playing time of possession football, 100%. I mean, it's going to be really hard to beat this team in a couple different ways because time of possession. And if Alabama needs to get into like a street fight, I think they can do that too. They just really haven't had to show that yet, but we all know that they're capable too, right? Like Alabama hasn't got into like a 48-41 type game. Now that they're, rolling, it's kind of just time of possession. So I think they might just be trying to scare Tennessee. Look, if you cruise over to VolQuest and you look at their message boards, I bet they're terrified. I bet they're terrified that Jam Miller's going to play. Now, can Alabama run the ball outside of Jam Miller? That's kind of yet to be seen, to be honest. And we have good running backs, right? You have Kevin Riley. We love him. We have Daniel Hill. But none of those backs in any of those games that were played without Jam, those guys didn't have 20 carries. They didn't get the volume that Jam is getting. Jam is a different back. I know you're out there and you're like, I love Kevin. I do too. But he's not the same back as Jam Miller, okay? So we'll just have to see what plays out. I think tonight he'll probably be listed as questionable again. And then Saturday is a game time decision. Take a look at the national schedule. Here's a look at the Big Ten. You got Washington taking on Michigan. You got Purdue taking on Northwestern. Pretty sleepy in the Big Ten, to be honest. I mean, I think there's only one game where 2 ranked teams are playing, which is USC and Notre Dame there at the bottom. We have Notre Dame beating USC. Who wins, USC or Notre Dame? By the way, 55% of you believe that Jam Miller will play on Saturday, right? Who wins, USC or Notre Dame? Type ND for Notre Dame. Type SC for Southern Cal. I don't know. I guess because it's, I guess because it's in South Bend, I'll take Notre Dame. And what's going to happen is, I want to see UFC win, but I think Notre Dame will win, and I think they'll continue to get a lot of momentum from these victories, right? I mean, we told you, this team isn't going to lose again. This will be, there's no other team that gets more positive increase in their rankings than Notre Dame. Notre Dame just beats one ranked team, they're like in the top 10. After they beat USC, if they do, they'll be in the top 10, I promise you. Here's a look at the ACC. Go full screen again. So we got Louisville, we got Miami. That's tonight. Again, pretty sleepy schedule in the ACC. What are we watching here? I guess the best game is, I guess Georgia Tech and Duke, right? Other than that, man, pretty sleepy. I mean, we'll all watch Miami again, and Carson Beck will throw for 400 yards against Louisville, and he'll climb back up to the Heisman, rankings or stay at number one. But man, the think about this: the competition that Carson Beck is playing compared to Ty Simpson on a weekly basis, right? Then again, I guess you could point to the fact that Tennessee's defense is number 122 in pass defense. So I don't know. Pretty sleepy schedule. Jeez. Okay, how about this? Here's a look at the Big 12. What are we watching here? Oh, man. Again, only one matchup where two ranked teams play. It's Utah and BYU, battle for Utah. I guess you have Texas Tech and Arizona State, right? That's probably the best matchup. I don't know if Sam Leavitt, is he playing in this game on Saturday? I guess give me Texas Tech in this one. Texas Tech, it's wild to see them even ranked, right? Number 7. Wow. What a time to be alive. I bet Lubbock is going crazy. Lubbock, Midland, Odessa, right? Where you at? All right, and then look at, you see just the games over here in the SEC? It's just this is the Premier League. So you got LSU taking on Vanderbilt. That's a good game. That is a good game. I don't think I've asked you all week. Who wins, LSU or Vanderbilt? Type L for LSU, type V for Vanderbilt. This is a good game. Wow. God, there's some really good matchups in this week. This slate in the SEC is absolutely fantastic. Oklahoma and South Carolina, always interesting because South Carolina is one of those trap games, right? I see a lot of people saying Vandy inside the comment box. Each of those teams, I think, is 5-1 too. Really good matchup. Oklahoma and South Carolina. Okay, yeah, let's see if Oklahoma can rebound after the loss to Texas. That's a trap game, 100%. It'll be a trap game for everybody that plays South Carolina. Texas A&M taking on Arkansas. Arkansas played Tennessee close last week, but I think Texas A&M probably rolls. Let's see. You have Ole Miss and Georgia. We've asked this several times this week, who's going to win this game, and I think we all felt that Georgia comes out on top, right? If Ole Miss wins this game, they will be 7-0 on the season? Yeah, because I think they're 6-0 going into this one. Man, Lane Kiffin, Kirby Smart, that is an excellent matchup. In Georgia, they have to continue to win out as well. I mean, you could very well see Alabama and Georgia playing again in the SEC championship game. If you kind of look to maybe some things that could happen, that could certainly be one of them, right? Yeah, Mississippi State taking on Florida, and everybody says that after the game, or maybe before, I don't know how this happens, that Billy Napier is about to be fired. Have you seen this? Do you think Billy Napier will be fired, yes or no? Sound off inside the comment box. It kind of sounds like yes, right? Billy Napier out. And then you got to think, who gets a job like that? I mean, that's a big job. Florida's a big job. Penn State, big job. Those are some major programs. Okay, you have Texas taking on Kentucky. All right. Look, if I'm Texas, I love this matchup right now because you just came off beating Oklahoma. Now you can beat Kentucky and start to get some momentum. Right? They've only lost one game, right? Texas has lost 2 games. They're 4-2. But you win this one, you know, Texas starts to get some momentum. I certainly am. I need to see way more from Texas. I knew they'd beat Oklahoma. Still not sold on that team, but who knows? And then you have this one, right? This is a hell of a slate, 1,000,000%. Tennessee and Bama. Jarvis, is the line still at 8? You imagine if Kentucky's able to beat Texas? That'd be wild. And then you have Missouri taking on Auburn. You know what? That's a good game too. If you were to zoom in to all of Auburn's games that they've played so far this year, they have all been tight in the SEC. They were leading Georgia. They battled against Oklahoma, right? Yeah, that's it. I mean, say what you want. That game could be interesting. I could see Auburn maybe beating Missouri. Yeah, watch that one right there. 6:45 in the evening time. I could see Auburn beating Missouri. That would be interesting. I love this graphic. I need to show it once again. As you can see, number 1, 2, and 3 in the country do not play any ranked teams moving forward. This is one of my viral graphics of the week. Isn't that wild? Cruise control. Cruise control. That is crazy. And it's completely opposite for teams 4, 5, and 6, right? A&M plays LSU here in a couple weeks. You have A&M then playing Missouri, A&M playing Texas on the back end. For Ole Miss, you have 2 consecutive ranked teams, Georgia, Oklahoma. Then on the back end, I mean, I guess, you know, if Ole Miss wins here, you're probably looking at Ole Miss getting into the SEC championship game. Because let's say they're able to beat Oklahoma here and win these rest of these games, you're probably looking at Ole Miss running the table and going into the title, the SEC title game is what I'm saying. You know, Bama runs the table, Ole Miss runs the table. You're looking at these 2 teams going head to head, and you're looking at, you know, potential matchup of Kalen DeBoer and Lane Kiffin. That's the rat poison talk. That's for us as fans, right? And then on this other side, you see Bama right here. Still a very tough schedule as they play Tennessee, LSU, Oklahoma, and then on the back end, Auburn, the rivalry game. So 3 big rivalry games for each of these teams, and it's a lot different when you look to 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, and 3, as opposed to 4, 5, 6. And those are just facts, 100%. All right, as you know, this video is powered by our friends at Sleeper, right? So definitely download that app, and when you do download that app, you get $20. All right, so you can do more or less how we do. I'm going to pull up the screen in just a minute and go over what Sleeper has this week going into Alabama and Tennessee. So you can also use the promo code, which is tailgate, get a $100 deposit match up to $100. Terms and conditions apply, right? Available in 25 states, right? Hey, Sarah, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Sarah says, good job, Kyle. You're developing some professional graphics. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You know, I put all of this in pre-show. It takes about an hour to get ready for an hour show. Call-in show is a little bit easier because, you know, I'm just fielding calls. All right, so what we have here is a look at Sleeper, right? They have more or less. So I'm going to ask you the questions on the left right here, starting with Joey Aguilar. Keep in mind that Alabama has not let a quarterback throw for over 200 yards so far this season. So my question to you is, will Joey Aguilar throw for more or less than 235 yards against Bama? 235 yards, more or less. Type M for more, type L for less. You know, this one for Joey Aguilar, this might be the only one where I go more, just because of the fact that he does have wide receivers, right? They probably have better wide receivers than the last 3 teams that Alabama has played. Now, Missouri has some guys for sure. Missouri's guys, you know, aren't as dynamic. Still good receivers, but I don't think the quarterback, you know, I thought he could be able to pass a little bit better. PROBABLE a good runner, okay thrower. I don't know. I probably take 235. Man, I'm going to say less. I think it'll be over 200 yards for sure, but over like 230. And as I said, I think a couple days ago when I brought this graphic up, if he throws for 300, 330, we're in a street fight, clearly, right? Something's going down to where Damani Jackson is getting cooked and Dejon Lee's back in there, and it's just absolutely fireworks, right? Okay, so my same question for you with Ty Simpson. More or less 288 yards for Ty Simpson. More or less for Ty Simpson. Type more for Ty. Type L for less than 280. I guess I'll go with more again. You know, you look at Ty Simpson. This guy's come up big in big time games, and even though, you know what's been interesting, and I'll have to dive more into this, but even with Ty Simpson throwing for over 300 yards in some of these games, they've still been able to control time of possession, which I think is so interesting. It's not, so that kind of tells me it's not like these big plays. It's more like of a methodical approach. Maybe the longest pass is like 30 yards, but it's not like a 60-yard or 70-yard, kind of escape where somebody shakes and bakes and they take off. It's more a methodical approach, right? I mean, think about this. How many big play touchdowns have we seen so far this year? I'm talking like an 80-yard score, right? A 75-yard, sweet. How many? I don't think we've seen a lot. Am I wrong? I'd have to check the stats on that, but it seems like Alabama, to get into the end zone, it's more methodical rather than like big play. Now they do have big play ability. It's just time of possession. Keep Alabama's defense. This has to be going on. Look, Kalen DeBoer to Ryan Grubb and Kane Womack. Look, Kane, you got to come up with some stops, okay? Come up with like 5 stops this game. Grubb, control the time possession, let Ty cook, right? Keep the time possession, keep feeding it, right? Because then Alabama's defense really has to come out and just make just a couple plays. And they do. They made plays. But the Alabama defense isn't like always out there. So they're fresh and they're coming up with plays. Love it. All right, real quick, I'll take your calls in just a few more minutes. Let me run through a couple more things. Tennessee ranked number 1 in scoring, 48.2. Tennessee averages 38.7 in SEC play. Number 7 passing offense in the country. And we've seen big numbers by all these teams. Vanderbilt, Missouri, all these teams were highly ranked in terms of, their overall percentage. Number 6, Joey Aguilar right here, averaging 317 per game. On the defensive side, Tennessee has 26 sacks, which is second in the country. So Alabama's offensive line certainly has to come with it. They're giving up 23.3 points per game, and they're allowing 257 passing yards per game, which is number 122 in the country. All right, 122 in the country. The 3rd October, Bama has won 10 straight at home. Bama is unbeaten at Tennessee since 2003. Bama is riding a 15-game home winning streak overall. Tennessee has won the last 2 out of 3. Bama is favored by 8.5. Bama with the number 3 pass defense, right? And as I pointed out, Tennessee number 122 in pass defense. And at the bottom right there, the biggest stat line that Alabama has continued to win in SEC games. Really, the only time they lost time of possession this year was against Florida State, okay? But number 7 overall in the country in time of possession. My score, 35-24, okay? That's what I have. I have a 35-24. My scores have been pretty accurate. That Missouri one, I think you gave Missouri a touchdown, right? But I'm looking at 35-24, or even 35-21. I think Tennessee will land maybe a punch or two, for sure. But I think Alabama, this will probably be the most high-scoring game that we've had so far in the first 3 SEC games. So my score, I got it 35-24. Confidence level is high overall that Alabama wins this game. I think Tennessee has some weapons for sure, but I think Alabama will become ready. And I think even if Jan Miller plays, that feels kind of, that folds right better into kind of the time of possession. So if Jan plays, maybe like that 35 to even 17, 35-21, I feel real comfortable. All right, I got to tell you about a sponsor that's just jumped on board. You got to check out TickPick. I'm going to play a commercial real quick by TickPick, and then I'll be back, and I'll take your calls right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Be back in 1 minute. Family, what's going on? Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. I don't know about you guys, but one of my biggest pet peeves is hidden fees when buying sports tickets. Why can't there just be one particular price that is set, and that's the price that I actually pay? If there was only an app where hidden fees didn't exist, well, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor of today's video, TickPick. All right, huge shout out. With over 20 million downloads, TickPick has you covered. NBA, NFL, concerts, festivals, you name it. TickPick gives you the lowest price guaranteed. No fees. What you see is what you actually pay, okay? And, of course, I have a promo code for you. You can use the promo code, which is HMA, for $20 off your first set of tickets at TickPick with the purchase of more than $100. That's $20 off any tickets with the promo code HMA. Make sure you click the link in the description box and you download the app and have the code automatically added to your account so you can use it later. Thank you, TickPick. All right, fam. So definitely check out TickPick and give them an opportunity. They're one of our new sponsors that just jumped on board. As you know, you got to use the promo code, which is clearly HMA. All right, so check them out. All right, I'm gonna bring up the call-in line. I appreciate you guys calling in right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Remember, when you call in, know that somebody is probably behind you in the call queue. So make your score prediction. I'll probably ask you a question or two around this game. If the dialogue is kind of floating there, but make your score prediction, an observation, and then we'll keep moving so we can get a lot of calls and the volume in today. So score prediction show starts right now, and 813, I think we got Case out in Tampa. Case, is that you?
It is. You got it right, Kyle.
What's up, Case? Welcome to the show, bro. I appreciate you, man. Happy Friday. It's October 17th. Big game tomorrow in the SEC, man. The SEC slate's amazing. So let me ask you, before you give me your score prediction, who you got, Georgia or Ole Miss?
My gut tells me Georgia, but I'm going to say Lane Kiffin pulls it off. I think this Georgia team is lacking a lot of its defensive keys that the Kirby Smart defenses of the past. So I'm going to pick Ole Miss by maybe a field goal at the very end of the game.
All right, okay, so moving to this game, third weekend of October, you got Lane Kiffin. Now you're taking Kalen DeBoer over Josh Heupel. What you got?
Yeah, I've got Alabama winning. I agree with you 100%. I think this is going to be the highest scoring game that we've seen, maybe possibly the highest scoring game we're going to see all season, just because it's not if Tennessee is going to get a couple plays, they're going to get a couple plays. You've got really explosive wide receivers. Joey Aguilar, he's going to give some away, though. I mean, I think that's going to come down to that's a key play. That's going to come down to the defense. I don't think we've got a defensive pick six yet this season. I think we're going to see it this game. I think we're going to see somebody like a Dijon Lee or a Bray Hubbard get a pick and bring it back for 6. I think that's going to be big for us. I've got the score 45-31.
45-31. A lot of points. Yep.
I think Ty obviously is going to be the MVP. I think we're going to see him use his legs a little bit more than we've seen in the past because he's going to be getting a lot of pressure, and he's aware of that. Tennessee's got really good pass rushers. They even bring in corner blitzes. So they're going to get – I would imagine they get a couple sacks and definitely some QB hurries. So I'm expecting to see some screen passes, and if Jam Miller's in, the best way to beat a blitz is to run the ball efficiently because you're not having to worry about affecting the quarterback because the quarterback just hands it off. But if you live by the blitz, you die by the blitz, and I believe that's going to allow some of our wide receivers to break free for a really deep shot and a quick touchdown.
100%. Yeah, I totally agree with that. I appreciate the call, Case, and call again next time, bro. Always good to hear from you from Florida.
Appreciate it. Roll Tide.
Yep, roll Tide. Yeah, a lot of points that Case is saying today, and we go to Chris out in New Jersey. Chris, we moved you to the 2 spot today. Sometimes the manager moves the lineup around. You know what I'm saying? So you're usually our leadoff, but today, based off the left-handed pitcher that we're facing, I moved Case to the 1 spot. He's on first base, and now I need you to move him to third, actually. So welcome on in, Chris from Montclair. You like that baseball analogy, right?
That was great. Well, listen, Derek Jeter batted second, so I love Derek. So TGIF, my friend, my best to you, my best to the undefeated. I'm going 38-17, and I think the reason why the spread is 8.5 and not more is because Jam's not going to play. And so that's why we're other than that, I think the spread would be higher and the under would be lower. So anyway, I 38-17. I think the defense. I think two picks. And I think Ty over 300 yards. So, and I'm feeling a lot better about this game than I have. That could be scary, Kyle. So, but I think I think this is going to be a dub for a big win for Bama. By the way, Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss is going to squeak this out. You know why? Lane Kiffin is auditioning right now for the Florida job. His buyout is so small for Ole Miss. And I was told, not like Texas, they have the most money, but the alumni for Florida, they're rich too, and they want a winner, and they're not happy. So somebody in the chat said we're going to, after the cocktail party, they're going to fire Napier. I think that's right. And I think let's put this on. Let's write this in. I think Lane Kiffin is the next coach of Florida next year, and then Matt Rule for Penn State.
Yeah,
he's a walk on over there, whatever, and they're so we'll see. But listen, I'm excited. I'm pumped. TGIF to everyone. By the way, great job. I love your you're doing these commercials now. Go get them, Kyle. You're the man.
Yeah.
All right, listen, happy Friday, brother. My best to you. My best to the undefeated. And I look forward to the watch party tomorrow. Roll Tide.
All right, roll Tide, too, man. Yeah, I appreciate it. And, Anna's hyping up the Dodgers. Truth be told, on that TickPick, I need you guys to really support them because it's a free promo on my end right now, so they just want to see how it works out. So, Sleeper's different, but TickPick right now, I'm not getting anything from them. So I need you guys to hit up that promo with HMA and buy some concert tickets, right? And tell them Bama Football on YouTube sent you. So that's how that works. So support TickPick. All right, 513, let's get it. Hey, you're on the line with Kyle Anderson.
Kyle,
yeah,
Connor and
let's do it right. All right, who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
Sorry. Hey, Kyle, it's Connor from Cincinnati. I'm just calling in.
What's up, Connor? Welcome to the show, bro. Happy Friday, man. Come with it, bro. Yo, first of all, Connor, are you a Bengals fan?
Sort of. I am kind of when they don't stink, but they usually stink. So.
All right, because last night if you had Jamar Chase last night, he was targeted 23 times. Do you see this? Targeted 23 times by Joe Flacco, and he had 18 receptions. So I have him on my fantasy team. So that was close to 40 points in fantasy football. Anyways, Connor, what's up, man? Come with it.
Yeah, you were eating good last night then. Huh?
Hell yeah, for sure.
I'm confident about this. I'm pretty confident about this Tennessee game. I really think our defense will kind of be able to hold our own. Really, I feel like in this one, both the offenses are pretty good. It's going to come down to, which defense lets up less, you know what I mean? And overall, I think ours will do that. Because somebody pointed out to me that, against Missouri, if we didn't fumble right there, right after the half, they might have only scored 17.
Yep.
Which I think is pretty good. So that's not what I'm feeling.
100%. I mean, I think you're absolutely right because you take away that touchdown. Like I said, the score should have really been, 27-17. That's 10 points. And I think kind of you rewind and you're like, okay, Vanderbilt's offense, they were electric, all this stuff. You limit them to 14. You limit Missouri to 17. That says something about the defense, and I get it. We need a scapegoat as fans, so we're like, the defense. But if you zoom out, nobody else in college football is playing the number 5 offense again and again and again on consecutive weeks, right? It's kind of like spaced out if you play a good offense. Not on Alabama's schedule so far. So that is impressive. Now, with this quarterback, I think he has better weapons, but, we'll have to see. But I appreciate the call, Connor, man. Thanks for calling from up in Cincinnati, bro.
Yep, thanks, Cal.
Yep. All right, that was Connor, and we go to 601. Hey, Jay calling in from Pensacola, man. What's up, Jay? I appreciate you calling in, man. Happy Friday.
How's it going, Cal? Happy Friday. How are you today?
I'm doing great, man. Yeah, feeling good. Had the coffee. It's like some of these bigger games, you get through Friday, and you're like, man, we've talked about everything. We got to have the score prediction show, and then you just kind of wait. Because there's nothing else to say. I guess we're just waiting for Jam Miller, but we're not going to find out tonight, So And then they're not playing until 6:30 tomorrow night, probably like 6:40. So like Rex said inside the comment box, you got to wait all day long for Alabama and Tennessee. It'll be worth it. It's just like, man, I want to get there. Sometimes you want to like sleep past these days so you can get to the ultimate. But here we are. Anyways, Jay from Pensacola, man, what's up? I appreciate you, man.
I ain't the same way, Cal. You know, I was happy that the Missouri game was 11 o'clock because I couldn't wait. I was so anxious. I couldn't wait. I'm ready. I'm ready to see what my Tide is gonna do. And I'm the same way. But to be honest, Kyle, on this game, I got faith in Bama all the way. To be honest, Kyle, I want to see how the team continue to improve. I want to see them gel. I want to see it continue to get better. That's how I'm looking for the Pacific player. I don't look for any Pacific nothing. I just want to see our team improve. I want to see our team do better. As far as Ty Simpson calling out the offense, I agree with him. They haven't played their best football. So I'm ready to see them play their best football. Mm-hmm. I'm ready to see improvement. That's all I want, Kyle.
Well, I posted this stat yesterday, Javion, and I said Coach Kalen DeBoer 18-3 versus top 25, 6-1 against top 10. I mean that those numbers are incredible, and I think like even when I say them, you're like, man, that's okay. Isn't it crazy? Like those numbers are crazy good. We need a parade, right?
Right, I agree with you 1,000%, Kyle. We do need a parade because he's showing up. I'm not gonna lie, Kalen DeBoer is. I agree with somebody that said that his demeanor is changing.
Yes,
and
it is.
I feel like he's starting to get more tougher. He's starting to. I would say he's been comfortable, but I would feel like his uncomfortableness. How to get out of work, but him being uncomfortable is winning the game. He can't have the same demeanor as the Pac-12 did. This is the SEC. The SEC requires toughness. But in my opinion, he's the most soft-spoken coach in the SEC. And what you said yesterday, look at Lane Kiffin. He gets into his player. Look at Kirby Smart. He's yelling. Like the most animated I've seen him was him yelling at the refs. But lately he's been tearing into the player, and I'm liking it. I'm liking him. I like the serious kind of the board. I feel like Georgia's going to beat on this, in my opinion. I feel like the only team that's going to beat Georgia was us. To be honest.
Yeah,
they've been proven.
Yep. And that's a good football team. I mean, even Coach Saban said he was like, "Look, don't be surprised to see Georgia back in this SEC title game." I mean, we know that. That's why that win over Tennessee was so big for them, right? And that's why this game has a lot of pressure actually on Tennessee, because if Tennessee loses this game, right, this will be their second loss in the SEC, but most importantly, they'll have lost to Georgia and to Alabama. So they're not getting into the SEC title game. They'll have to just hope to win out from here on out to get into the SEC title game. But Javion, I appreciate the call, dog. I'll catch up with you next time, man. Thanks for always calling in. Thanks for your support, bro.
Appreciate you, Kyle. Love you, Kyle.
Love you too, dog.
The greatest.
All right, man. Yeah, right. I mean, Tennessee certainly has. I mean, there's always pressure in every single game, but you got to come over here and you lose your second game in SEC. Man, they had. You know what? This team had Georgia on the ropes. This team should really be 6-0 on the season. They were up 21-7. Correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't it the wide receiver had 3 touchdown catches in the first quarter, right, of that game? So I mean, this is a team that. I would imagine that this team is better. Let me ask you this inside the comment box. Help me out. Is Vanderbilt? I'll ask a poll. By the way, 64% believe that Jan Miller will play in the game after being elevated to probable. So we'll write that down. 64%. Let me ask you this: is Tennessee, just curious, in your mind, is Tennessee better than Vandy and Missouri? Yes or no? All right, vote inside the comment box. I would say so, right? So Andy up from Denver said this. I emailed the cigar mansion, Reagan started, right, to ask if they knew what cigar the team smoked. And, they provide the cigars to the players, so they're, they smoke them after the game. And it looks like it is Casa de las Estrellas, right? It's exclusive to the R&R mansion. That's what's up, man. Yeah, good field work right there, man. I appreciate that. Reagan, I think Reagan was even on ESPN, right? I know Reagan. We've hung out, many different times at the mansion. Good dude. You should support R&R if you can. Let's see. We go back to the phone lines, and we got a 207.
Hey, guys, turn it off.
Hey, you're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Hi, this is Rainier, and I'm calling in from Maine again.
Hey, Rainier, I appreciate the call from Maine, man. Always good to hear from you. Way up in the Northeast, man, way up there. So I appreciate you calling in, man. Welcome to the show.
Hey, driving to the airport with the fam. We're going to the Tennessee game here.
Oh, hell yeah. That's what's up, man. Yeah, I love to hear it, man.
Yeah. We're hyped. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, what's the weather up there right now in Maine? I bet you it's starting to turn pretty cool, and I bet you it's absolutely beautiful, right?
It's fall colors all over.
Yep.
Nights 40 to 50 during the day, something like that.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that would be for us here down in the South, man. You're coming. Look, I'm telling you right here, it's hot down here, bro. So I think as I've been showing you, that fourth quarter should be comfortable for you. But I'm telling you, it's hot. Like pretty soon when I'm done with the show and I step outside, it'll be hot over here. So just be ready. You know how the Southeast rolls. So it won't be in Maine anymore. Yeah. But anyways, welcome to the show, Rainier. What you got, man, in terms of your score prediction and your thoughts on the game?
Yeah. So give me Bama 41, Tennessee 24. I think Bama's going to have some explosive pass plays, but my general suspicion is that they're going to try to hold on to the ball and do what they've done the whole season, which is these long, sustained drives that keep that Tennessee offense on the bench the whole game.
Yep. What do you think? Do you think Jam plays? Do you think Jam plays on Saturday now that he moved to probable?
I'd put my money on yes. I think if they were playing a team that wasn't as good as Tennessee, I think they'd probably sit him just like they sat Ryan Williams. Yeah. For Ewell Monroe. Yes. Yep. But I think because of the magnitude of this game, I think they're going to probably take the risk and have him play on Saturday.
Wild, right? I because there's protocol that the teams have to go through, but if they get cleared and there's different levels, that would be pretty amazing and huge for Alabama. I know Tennessee is absolutely sweating. Okay, what's the biggest thing you're looking forward to coming from Maine to a football game with your family?
I think it's actually the third one I've gone to in the last 3 years, but it's just awesome in that stadium. There's nothing like it. 100,000 people strong, and I've never been to a night game, so I'm pretty friggin' excited about that. Yeah, the night game is amazing. Ever since they added like these lights and stuff like that, I think it happened around like 2020. Everything just got elevated. So you're gonna enjoy your time with your family, man. Good call on coming down to the Tennessee game, man. Take it easy and be safe in the air on your way over here, bro. Take it easy, Rainier. Thank you. Right, have a good one. Thanks, you too, bro. All right, man. We got a 478 calling in next. Hey, you're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Hey, Kyle. It's Alyssa Mitchell from Macon, Georgia.
Hey, Alyssa, I appreciate you. I was like flying through the call so fast, I was like, I didn't even recognize because I like to sometimes highlight, the heavy hitters. So welcome on in, Alyssa Mitchell, calling in from Georgia, otherwise known as our 5-star chef. Welcome on in. I hope you're doing well, and come with it.
All right. So as far as the win against Missouri goes, an ugly win is still a win, especially in the SEC. And listen, something I absolutely love about our team is they find a way to win, right? When we face adversity, when our back is up against the wall, when all of college football is against us, and they are, we find a way to win. And this fact kind of rolls me into my next point. Thank goodness Marcus called in on Wednesday to put that Tennessee fan in check. Alabama doesn't need to run the ball for 500 yards each game to win. It doesn't matter if we pass, run, walk, skip, hop. If we win, that's what matters. I feel like, Tennessee has a great coach and a tough football team. They've got great athletes on the defensive line. They run a high-tempo offense, and if we let Joey Aguilar sit back in the pocket, he's going to burn us over the top. But no streaks are being broken this weekend in Tuscaloosa. And at the end of the day, Tennessee is still low down, dirty, and a bunch of snitches. Alabama's bringing the smoke Saturday night, and that smoke will be coming from our cigars at Bama 38, Tennessee 28.
Love it. Love it. Absolutely wonderful. Give it up, everybody, for our 5-star chef, Alyssa. Anything else, Alyssa, before we let you go?
That's it. Roll Tide, and y'all have a good weekend.
All right, man. Take it easy. Thank you, Alyssa. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, wonderful call as always, right? Alyssa always bringing it. With the fire. One of our top callers, obviously. I don't know if that's scripted or not. I don't think it is. I think some people just have kind of that gift of gab. She lets it kind of build up, and it's certainly been a highlight to the show. So, Alyssa, we love you. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for calling in. And what an ending. I'm not surprised. I mean, it's absolutely fire. Okay, so Reese at the beginning of the show said that there's a stat, that she wanted to bring up. And here's that stat. So let me read it out. All right, Kyle. Bama's defense ranked 17 with total yards allowed this season, 1,700 yards, while Tennessee is 91, 2,300 yards out of 136 teams. 1,500 yards passing yards, 800 yards rushing. Ty should have a field day. I like this stat is because earlier in the week, I think it was on Tuesday when Ty Simpson spoke to the media, he was asked about this, and they were like, do you feel that Tennessee secondary is vulnerable? And, being the coach on the field that he is, he was like, I don't think it's vulnerable. That, you know what that was? That's like looking down and seeing, poop on the floor and like avoiding it, right? You're not going to say something like that. That's called avoiding rat poison. I think Ty will certainly have his opportunities, and I think it's because I think somebody at the beginning of the show said it. Tennessee likes to go man coverage, and they don't have the corners to deal with these particular wide receivers. So they're going to send pressure, and they want to get to Ty. If Ty is able to go over the top, that's why I think that if there's any sort of a game where they could be some big plays, I'm talking like a 60-yard touchdown, 70-yard, it'll be in this game. Watch for Hollywood. All it's going to take is for Hollywood to swim past somebody and to go for a 75-yard touchdown. Hollywood might go crazy in a game like this. I'm telling you. So look for your big-time playmakers to rise up, specifically the ones that got elite speed. So maybe I could see like a Lazier Brooks or something like that doing some damage. So hell of a stat. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, and great call as always from Melissa. 737, we got Mike out in Austin. Mike, what's up, man? Welcome to the show.
Hello, Kyle. Hello. Hey, man, I think it's going to be a relatively high-scoring game. And like you say, I think our playmakers are going to be there to show up and make big plays. And in Tennessee, I think they're going to score probably in the upper 20s or so. So I think it's going to be a relatively high-scoring game. So I'm picking Bama to win probably about like 38-28, somewhere in there.
38-28. Okay, tell me this. You got Texas plays Kentucky. Is there any chance of an upset brewing in Lexington?
Absolutely, there is. There's always a chance of being upset in the SEC in college football every year. Every week, if there's a trap game. That's what I have the saying, Kyle. There are no trap games in the SEC because you got to be ready. So, yeah, and we still don't know what Texas has because I kind of think Oklahoma did a crappy game last week. What I kind of think happened, but yeah, there's a chance Texas gets upset. So we'll have to see. And honestly, I kind of hope they do, man. So Texas, yes, I hope they get upset. And apparently Bama found their identity. Bama found the key. So Bama keeps rolling on, man.
All right, man. Good call, Mike. I appreciate it, man. Good to hear from you, bro. Thanks for calling in. All right, that was Mike out in Austin. He's got Bama rolling as well. 706, let's do it. Hey, thanks for calling in. You're on the show with Kyle Henderson. Who am I online with and where are you calling in from?
Hey, what's going on? This is from LaGrange, Georgia. King Family Reacts.
Hey, King's Family, what's up, man? I appreciate you. It kind of like chopped, like when you said your actual name, but everybody knows King's Family React from inside the comment box. He's calling out of LaGrange, Georgia. I met him a couple times. I think you've come to a couple games this season, if I'm not mistaken. Are you coming to the Tennessee game tomorrow?
Yeah, man, we have season tickets.
Gotcha.
We'll definitely be there. We're going to head out around 9 a.m. Eastern time.
Okay, awesome, man. I'm sure you're looking forward to it with your family, man. So what's on your mind going into this third weekend? Break it down for us.
So what's going on in my mind is something that everyone used to say. Coach Saban used to say it. Jalen Hurst used to say it. Tua, Bryce used to say it. But this is what the season is coming down to now, is trust the process. I think that Florida State game, we didn't trust the process. We didn't act, within our characteristics.
Yeah.
Since then, this team has been trusting the process. Alyssa said it beautifully when she said this team just finds a way to win.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's because the process plays out.
Mm-hmm.
So what we have to do is what we've been doing. I'm not going to give Tennessee much credit. I think they're only going to get around 17 points. I think the defense does a couple of things, or at least one thing this season that we haven't done yet. Either Keon, Bray, someone's going to take a pick six. The defense is going to score in this game. I have Alabama 42, Tennessee 17.
42-17. You know what else? I don't think do we have a defensive touchdown this year? I don't think we do, right? I don't think we do.
We do not.
Yeah,
we don't.
And I don't think we have a special teams touchdown either. You know what would really break the seams is I always like to receive, the football. And having Lazier Brooks down there, that's dangerous, okay? If you give 17 an opportunity, all it's going to take for him, because the thing I've noticed about Lazier Brooks, and it was Ryan Grubb who pointed this out, a couple different things. Well, he caught that pass against Georgia, and then he shook off a couple defenders, right? And then he went for like 23 or whatever. It was on that drive that, they first gave it to Caden Proctor. He's got some, he's got some bite to him. You put him he's the perfect kick returner because he can move, he can shake, and he can, bounce off the first defender. You know what? Can you imagine? Make the stadium just go crazy is if you get a, kickoff return by Lottie Brooks. Can you imagine that? That would be crazy. I think the last one because the last punt return we had was from Caleb Downs, and then I think the last kick return we had, who was it? Was it Jameson Williams? I can't remember. I always forget that stat. What else you got, King's Family?
It's been a hot minute.
Yeah, it's been a little bit.
Yeah, it's a hot minute, man. Yeah. Before I go, just wanted to say congratulations to Lacey on Pepper.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for the wonderful work that you're doing, my man.
Appreciate it.
And the name's Dennis, by the way.
Dennis. All right. Yeah. Because when you said it, it was like, dee, 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 and then it just went into King's Family. So your family here, Dennis, appreciate it, man. Be safe coming to Tuscaloosa tomorrow.
Appreciate it, brother. Roll Tide, everybody.
Roll Tide to you, man. All right, 267. Let's do it. $267. Hold on, I'm trying to get you in the queue. Looks like we're just a little bit slowed down. Be patient. It's coming. Let's see. Come on, 267. Let's get you through. I don't know what's happening on this side. Looks like we might be having some little technical difficulties. Hang tight. And then it looks like we got Marcus from St. Pete's. Sometimes, look, I'm telling you, when you work on the internet, you don't know what type of curveballs you're going to face every single day. So I'm trying to get my 267 in here, and I might have to do even a refresh because I'm not sure what is happening. So just be patient. I'll figure this out like I always do. It's complicated. I'm not going to lie. Some of the stuff that we do is complicated here. 267, let's try to patch you through. Didn't come through. Call back 267. And 317, Marcus, call back as well. Call back again. The call line is open. It's up on the screen. I'm telling you, anytime that you work in the internet with relying on the internet, who knows what could happen. It's just a series of curveballs. And so what I've learned is that you just have to roll with it. And even I started this show, and I think you've even seen there's some even bigger YouTube channels out there that had issues with YouTube recently. And that's just how it goes. So what you do is you just kind of roll on through and you keep it going. Let's see if we can get, is there another Marcus, try to call back again, man, from the 317. Or anybody try to call back to see if, our call-in line is open. It should be open. It should be working. So it's 205-850-1994. We'll keep the calls going. If not, then, that's the show. And that's just the way love goes. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-ch. That's the way the show goes. Who? Yeah, that's the way the show goes. Man, I don't know what happened. Let me try to reconnect because I feel like taking a couple more calls. Just be patient. Let me see what happens. Just 1 second. All right, let's see. Just 1 second. I'm gonna try to do this online. It's like doing surgery online. I'm serious. Sometimes it's embarrassing, but you gotta roll with it. It's okay. All right. This is fine. We will get it through. Let's see. That's the way the show goes. I'm not sure what happened on this side. Am I even online right now? All right, it just keeps ringing. It says. All right, I'm going to try it one more time. And I think like another thing too is just these high pressure moments. You just got to just relax and just see if you can get it going. If not, that's just it. At least we had an hour of the show, right? Okay. It doesn't look like this page is loading on my side. So anyways, curveball at the end. We struck out, but I guess that's a show because we got, some good volume in. So thank you so much for calling. I apologize if I couldn't get to you today. It looks like that's just kind of out of my hands, and that's just sometimes how it goes. So I appreciate you guys for still kicking it with me today here on Bama Football on YouTube. I love you guys. I appreciate y'all. Remember, back as news happens, we'll keep you posted on the status of Jam Miller as he was elevated to probable. I know that's the biggest storyline. So if he's not on that list, that means that he's cleared, right? I think that's kind of a confusing thing. Sometimes when you're in that space, you're like, well, what the hell happened? He's not on the list anymore. That just means he's good to go. So I appreciate everybody who called, whether you're calling in from Maine, LaGrange, Georgia, down in, Pensacola, or right here in the great state of Alabama. I sincerely appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for kicking it with me each and every day at Monday, 10 a.m. Central Time, or as news happens. Remember to follow us on our Facebook channel, and we'll continue to keep it rolling right here on Bama Football on YouTube, right? Tomorrow, watch along. We'll start at about 15 minutes before the show, or before the game. So, it's listed at 6:30. I would imagine they probably start at like 6:45. So, that 6:30 window is probably when that watch along will happen, all right? And I might come back with like some sort of video either today or tomorrow morning, just depending on like the news and stuff like that. So be sure that you are subscribed, and if you want to become a fan funder, I sincerely appreciate it, all right? Coming to you from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama on this fine October 17th. You know what time it is. It's the outro, all right? So thanks for watching. Run the thumbs up. And I appreciate you guys kicking it with me right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Have a blessed day. Thank you so much for kicking it with me today on this beautiful Friday, October 17th. Back as news happens right here on Bama Football on YouTube.